Well, it's Friday the 20th of September. The space weather for almost all of this year has been varying intensities of the meat grinder. Jupiter and Neptune have been square to each other for a long time, managing expectations and giving flight to fantasy. Jupiter has been in my 5th house and has really removed the false notion that you have to suffer for your art. What gets done between now and December will become the new normal in your life with a sense of cautious optimism. This is episode 1925 of 301 Permanently Moved Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded and edited in 1 hour by me at the JMO. As usual, a big hello to any new and all subscribers, and a big thank you to all those that have downloaded and shared the first issue of Start Select Reset Zine. The phrase, "your attention is sovereign," seems to have been useful to some, and for that I'm glad. It's also sparked some interesting discussions I've seen around and about, particularly on attention as currency. Despite being amongst the crypto space via my participation in the decentralized artist network guild.is, I'm not sure attention as currency is the best way of thinking about it, and I point you to have a look for some of the better critiques of the Brave browser and its token ecosystem to pursue at your leisure. For those that are unaware, people who use the Brave browser can earn basic attention tokens, or BAT, by viewing privacy-respecting ads. In return, BAT can be used to tip creators. You can also buy BAT to tip creators from your token bag. It's an interesting system, but it doesn't really feel like anything that new. It feels like a slicker implementation of Flatter's first iteration back in 2010, founded by two of the creators of the Pirate Bay. Anyways, I've come back from holiday and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. Massive solidarity to everyone who is on the climate strike today. It's really inspirational. Despite all the massive protests that have happened in my lifetime, today's climate strike has the most successio plebis about it. Today will be another bitty episode. A few people have asked me for more essays on the culture industry, continuing my thoughts on cultural fracking like the Spider-Man episode, etc. But they will come when they come. I thought today I'd take a look at my to-do list and tell you some of the things that I'm thinking about working on. At the top of my list, obviously, is find some more freelance work. My work over the summer, doing some strategy for pre-seed drone AI company, has come to an end as they got their funding. All of those hours in spreadsheets doing burn rate scenarios was worth it. And some of the recent work with a few quote-unquote content creators on their monetization strategies has finished too. I was hoping that a big medium-term project I was going to be involved with would drop this autumn, but unfortunately it's been pushed into 2020 due to budget stuff. On the upside, the work that I did with the YouTubers was really helpful in my own life. It's inspired me to sort out my own web presence, and I'll be moving my blog etc. over to the jmo.net at some point and rebuild the website and make it a central hub. So I have some ideas and plans of the things that I want to do creatively. Firstly, I need to finish my talk titled Solarpunk, Life in the Future Beyond the Rusted Chrome of Yestermorrow, ready for Unsound Festival in Krakow in October. I'm planning on talking about how Solarpunk works as a mimetic engine for refuturing our ideas space. It will also include the most in-depth history of the movement/genre I've done so far. I'm planning on recording the audio on my phone, so watch my YouTube for that. I also have to prepare for a panel on interspecies solidarity. I'm planning on using the work of Kenneth Oldwig and his landship concept as a framing device. I have a commitment to finish the first draft of Land as Platform by the end of the year. My talk in Copenhagen at primer.dk in January will be its first complete outing, I hope. I also have a vague idea of finishing up a 20k word ebook that I wrote during a manic phase in 2015. I wrote it post Transmediale Festival that was in Berlin, where I'd run a workshop on mobilizing infrastructure space and stacktivism. The title is Corporate Phenomenology in the Age of Planetary Scale Computation, New Narrative Strategies. I was working at a subsidiary of Gartner at the time, and I felt I needed to get all of the ideas out of my head, but it can be summed up with the subtitle, If a corporation thinks it's a person, then the singularity has already happened. And I think it might be worth seeing the light of day. I have a few loose plans to do more audio projects to come out here on this feed. One is a self-contained solarpunk fiction project based on a short story that I wrote. Whilst well received by the anthology, it was ultimately rejected. The repurposing of this project, however, is inspired by the recent release of unseencomic.com by Chad Allen, which is an audio comic for blind and sighted audiences. It's fantastic, and I'll put a link in the show notes for that. Lastly, I've been really into synthwave as I've been playing the game Hotline Miami on my Switch, and I've made a couple of tracks already. And as I think of myself as a musician before anything else, I think it might be cool to put something out.